Calvin Sykes is back, 90.5, the Flava station. I'm here with FAMU graduate Tia Mitchell. It seems to be a special time just because it's homecoming and grads are back. So I came to bring her in the studio just to talk about her experiences at FAMU, homecoming, and just what's going on in her city because it seems to be pretty historic just for FAMU in general. So I guess to start it off, I want to ask you, what is your favorite FAMU memory during your undergraduate years?
I would say one of the top memories, the one that most embodies my FAMU experience, was I was working for student government and I planned my first pep rally.
Okay.
And we had games, we had music, of course, DJ, the Greeks. And at the end, the 100 marched down the set to the pep rally. And at the end, they played the alma mater and we put our arms around each other and we swayed. And that time, I knew it was special. And I remember in real time, it brought a tear to my eye because I knew what we had there was special. And anytime I think about that moment, including now, It just, it's just so special. The energy, the love that is FAMU is not duplicated anywhere.
Well, it's interesting you say that now because the love is, it's always there. And typically now we see it back with grads are back at J School. So I guess now I would ask you kind of what advice did you give to young writers like myself who want to dive into the media field like you are?
I would say, of course, when we talk to journalism students, we talk about that internships, the networking, to make sure that you're building your resume while you're an undergraduate to make it easier to get that job when you graduate. And quite frankly, I think those skills apply to any major. You can't just be taking classes and doing your extracurricular activities, which are great, but college is for career exploration and getting the foundation to be gainfully employed after your 4 years is up. So Rattlers, when you got to get those internships, you got to be making those connections.
Connections. That seems to be a common theme here. So I see that you work with fellow alums at your newspaper that you work at. So tell me how that experience has been.
So it's great. I work for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution newspaper, and there are two other Rattler journalists in the newsroom, Rosalind Bentley and Marlon Walker. And there are also a lot of other Black college alum. We even did a Greek day where everyone wore their Black Greek letters, and it was amazing to be working in an environment where we could do that. You're not the only one. So it is great. It's and of course, we represent FAMU loud and proud.
Well, I love the spirit I hear through your voice. So I guess now that kind of swaying now, kind of towards your career. So I would say, what has been your favorite story, kind of, if you haven't, your favorite story of anything that you thought kind of took your career to the next level, kind of writing at the newspaper?
Well, I'm pretty recent going to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, so most of my career was at the Florida Times-Union in Jacksonville. And there's a sad story that was really shaped who I was as a journalist. A aunt and her two young nephews, they were age 11 and 13, died in a triple shooting back in, I think, 2003.
Wow.
And it really galvanized the community, and it taught me a lot of lessons as a journalist about compassion. I wrote a lot about the family over the years, a lot about kind of like the sanctity of life and how in an instant everything can turn away. And that triple shooting, the two boys who died, they had a third brother who was supposed to be in the car. The aunt was supposed to pick up 3 boys. She only picked up 2. So that third boy who was being a knucklehead and missed his ride, but that was God saving him from that demise. So it was just like, there are so many lessons in like sermons in that story. So that story has always stuck with me. And then for those who know Jacksonville, I did a 3-day series on Sandalwood High School. And so again, I took a whole year at the school and ended up writing a big series about the troubles, about the students, and that was really cool too. So a lot of memories as a journalist.
Well, it seems that you've learned a lot from especially your long-time career, and I guess it kind of goes into what's going on in today's world. So I guess now in Atlanta, so FAMU seems to be winning once again, like we always do. So can you just talk about the significance of, what your sorority sister, the mayor, has done for the city of Atlanta?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm new to Atlanta, so I moved there right when the mayoral race was wrapping up. And so I saw it from a distance, not as someone who had been living there, but someone just kind of coming in and observing. And the energy, Atlanta got a mayor named Keisha, and I was at her inauguration. I actually did interviews and wrote an article, and that was the whole focus. Like, there's so much pride. Not only is she a woman, not only is she a Black woman, not only is she a Rattler, not only is she a Delta, but she has a name, Keisha, that embodies like Black girl magic and Blackness, and the fact that she's a mayor of a major city is just, it says so many things, and it makes people so proud.
Yes, that's to me, I think the biggest thing looking outside in, that Rattlers are kind of running the world now. I just can't wait to see if Andrew Gillum gets in the governor's spot, but we'll wait till November. But also too, I kind of now moving now, she's here at homecoming, what do you expect from her convocation speech, since you kind of have a personal relationship, if you guys kind of met before the claim to fame?
Yeah, and being at her inauguration, that was my first time kind of seeing her in person, was her inauguration day, because I'm new to Atlanta. And she gave an amazing speech. She's a very, very encouraging, strong, focused speaker. So I expect her to bring it tomorrow because her speech was excellent. So I think she's going to, she's a Rattler, true and true, a proud Rattler. So I think she's going to give a charge to students and alumni and give us something to aspire to. So I'm excited to hear it.
And, it's homecoming again, once again, and you seem to have another personal collection, your sorority sister, Corey Bosick, the first female drum major. So I kind of just want to ask you just a broader scheme. It seems that Black girl magic has been a theme for the past couple of months on this campus. So I would say, what is important that Corey Bosick got named that position, and what does it mean for young girls that look at her as a role model?
I think it's so, the 100 is amazing. And the work that all of the members put in to give us a show is amazing. And so for Corey to be named one of the leaders of this esteemed, awesome band just is such a testament, number one, to her skill. And I think she showed that, she didn't ask to kind of become this national sensation that just became part of what happens when you're a trailblazer. People look up to you. People want to interview you. And she's handled everything with such grace. When she was on CNN, she looked good. She sounded good. She talks like she has sense. She represents for the 100. She's humble. So I think that what it's showing us is, number one, when you get put in position, you got to rise to the occasion. You got to represent no matter what. She's in position because she's a first female drum major. But some of y'all listening today going to be put in a position, and you got to rise to the occasion when it comes. And also, of course, specifically to her, because the 100 started out as an all-male organization, for her now to be a leader in the first female, and again, she blends in. She does it well. It's not like she stands out and they got to bring her along, She's showing that it can be done. And I think, again, for so many lessons, it might not always be about gender. I love that we have a Latino drum major. I love that we have a height challenge drum major, because it goes to show you that, sometimes we got to take the limitations off ourselves, and when given the opportunity, because she needed the opportunity. Not everybody was cool with her being given the opportunity. But thank God Dr. Chipman and the other leaders thought it was time to give her the opportunity. And she's shown that sometimes you just need that opportunity to show people, I can do it too.
So this just an amazing interview. You inspired me. So I guess kind of the interview, if you could have any final words just for Rattlers, students, alumni, just anybody listening, just some inspirational words that you have learned from the Hill and throughout your career that has helped you got to where you are today.
I would just say, Rattlers, it's on us to rise up. We always talk about the funding. We talk about the lack of resources compared to other state universities. You might go somewhere and they go, FAMU, what school is that? Or is that, it's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to represent. We have to be the symbols of the greatness that we know FAMU is. Every student get your work done, get your internships, go towards your dreams and your goals, whether it's career-wise, whether it's starting that clothing line or doing that art. Like, there's so much talent and diversity. That was one of the things that I think I learned. I came from Louisville, Kentucky. I came from an experience personally where I was often one of the only black girls in the room. I was a quote unquote smart black girl, so I came here to FAMU and I was like, it's a lot of smart black kids. There's also black skaters and black science folks, and of course the band and singers. And so we're so diverse in our own right. Let's all just embrace that diversity and find the definition of greatness for us. It's not the same. Your definition of greatness might not be the same as the next person, but whatever your definition of greatness is, let's go get it, Rattlers. Happy homecoming.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. And it was